his first mock draft of 2018 on ESPN.com. And here it is, a surprise there at the top in Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen being selected by the Browns. Kuiper then has Cleveland taking another offensive playmaker 3 picks later there in Saquon Barkley, with Josh Rosen going 2nd to the Giants, Sam Darnold going 5th to the Broncos. Like yin and yang, NFL draft insider Todd McShay joining us now.
You could have done this without me today.
I mean, no, because I need you to really look at what Mel has done and say why that makes sense. And let's start there with number 1 in Josh Allen.
You know, people may look at it and say, well, Allen didn't have the best year, and he completed only 56% of his throws during his career, and I get that. The upside with him, though, is as great as any quarterback we've seen in at least 5 years coming out. The size, the mobility, the arm strength, and when his feet are right, he can be very accurate. He's coming off a huge bowl game where he just picked apart that Central Michigan defense. But again, there's positives and negatives to his game. The reason it makes sense is that when you look at John Dorsey, the quarterbacks this GM has liked in the past, big arm quarterbacks, and then you look at the division and where they play, you need a guy that can throw the ball in Cleveland. With the weather, you know, the Joe Flacco's, the Ben Roethlisberger's, they're in that division for a reason, and Josh Allen, more so than even these other 2 quarterbacks, fits that build and prototype that they're looking for.
A lot of people are going to look to his 16 touchdowns to 11 interceptions this past season, but you do have to keep in mind he lost weapons, and he does have that big arm they'd be looking for.
It's going to be a big debate, because I just went and looked at the top 20 quarterbacks in the NFL, and then some of the recent guys that have been very promising. Not one of them is under 60% in terms of the completion percentage coming out of college. And only one of them had less than 24 starts, and that was Cam Newton. And he's right there at 24 starts. So you're talking about 2 numbers, if you're into numbers at all, that are red flag numbers, especially the completion percentage. There just isn't a guy in the league over a long period of time that has had sustained success that has come out with 56.1% for a career completion percentage. And we're going to talk about that a lot between now and May's draft.
And also tonight on the 7 p.m. Sports Center special here right on ESPN2. But which quarterback in this draft class is most NFL ready?
I would go with Josh Rosen. You know, there are a lot of teams concerned about does he love the game? Does he need the game? What's he like inside the locker room? And most importantly, is he coachable? And does he talk back a lot and all those things that I keep on hearing from NFL scouts? But I put on the tape and I see a guy that's the most polished of any of these quarterbacks in terms of hanging in the pocket, going through progression reads, throwing receivers open, hitting spots, always just doing little things, even like that shoulder pump that you saw right there, and being able to anticipate throws and throw to spots before receivers break. This guy is NFL. Let's put it this way. If I had to start a quarterback in a game tomorrow in the NFL and win it, it would be Rosen. But I'm not sure he would be the guy that I'd choose for the long term. And I think that's what everyone's going to be debating inside their draft firms for the next few months, these teams that need quarterbacks.
Okay, and it could be throwing balls there for the Giants there at number 2. We should see that play out for sure. No player really in this draft is more polarizing than Baker Mayfield. Right. Mel has him 13th, going to the Redskins. How high could we see him going?
I think he could go in the top 10. You know, it's interesting because you look at it, you've got Cleveland at 1, the Giants at 2. Cleveland picks again, but you assume that they're going to take a quarterback with their first pick. So there's spots at number 3 with the Colts and Cleveland at 4 where teams could try to move up. Denver's sitting at 5. Do they want to risk it getting to them, or maybe they want to move up a couple spots? The Jets are right behind them at 6. And then there's kind of this lull of 4 teams where right now they don't need quarterbacks, but behind him, Washington could be in play, depending on what happens with Kirk Cousins. Arizona could be in play. Buffalo has 2 picks. I think it's 21 and 22 back-to-back. So all of these teams are sitting there looking, even Miami at 11. All of these teams are looking at that Tampa, Chicago, San Francisco, Oakland range, 7 to 10. And I think that's where if the first 3 quarterbacks come off the board and Darnold, Allen, and Rosen, I think that's where a team would say, you know what, we better get up there and go get our guy, because there's no guarantee that he's going to fall to us at 13 or anywhere beyond that spot.
And it all kind of keeps shuffling and you keep moving around, and we're going to discuss a lot of it tonight. Again, the Sports Center special right here on ESPN2, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch Todd and his friends. And speaking of his friends, Mel Kiper Jr. back with us, top of the hour here on Sports Center, as we continue to break down his first mock draft of the